Hey, what's up, guys? It's Bradu. I wanted to just talk about a set today, real quick, spur of the moment, that's near and dear to my heart, and that is 1990-91 Pro Set Hockey. There's a couple Nordiques for you, Guy Lafleur and Joe Sakic. I always have loved this set. It's the it's the set that got me into hockey, that it introduced me to hockey. I was a card collector as a kid, but of course I didn't know anything about hockey or what hockey was even, really. I don't think I had ever seen a hockey game. And oh man. Yeah, so this set was the first time I remember buying hockey cards and going through them and understand, learning about the game. And I also have to do a big disclaimer that what I'm about to say, it's very important to know that I'm a big hockey fan. That was one of the things that drew me to it. I was like, these guys like just fight right in the middle of the game at any time. That's crazy and it's awesome. So, oh, nice. Just going through, I'm just randomly picked up some stacks of cards. It looks like all the fun stuff's mixed in. McGillney rookie, Darren Poopa with the Poopa Scoopa. The Poopa Scoopa is Darren Poopa's glove. So what I love, let's cover the stuff I already knew. I love the set because it was the first thing got me into hockey. I just loved looking at the stats. It's got a great crop of rookies. So Jeremy Roenick, probably one of my favorite rookies for sure. I love that his nose was bloody in this picture. Speaking of bloody nose, it's got the bloody nose Paul Gillis era that's super rare. A couple other key rookies I just happened to... I passed by McGillney. I thought I pulled him out. Madonna, McGillney, basically at Belfort. Yager in Series 2. It basically has every big rookie from that year except, Bure? I think it's missing Pavel Bure, who's only in Upper Deck, probably. Oh, and Eric Lindros and Brodeur were in score only. So, yeah, it's got a special place in my heart because when I discovered hockey, and this is actually a horrible story, I ditched all other sports, traded off all my 1986 Fleer basketball cards for 90 Pro Set and Upper Deck and Score, basically. Oh man, ouch. But I've been having fun lately going back further than the 90s into the 80s and 70s and even 60s and 50s with my hockey card collections. And I have this kind of funky little idea that I've been having a blast with, and that is putting together sets of cards I can play with. I've talked about this many times on my videos. I like to dole out the cards. I like to open up a couple packs of cards or grab a stack of cards and dole them out into positions and teams and make a lineup as if I'm the coach and kind of imagine if these two teams would play, what would it be like. And I've put together a good set from, I kind of grouped years together. So I've put together a good set like that I think covers 1976 to 1980. I usually have them in like 5-year chunks. And I'm only missing a few key players from that set. So I've got a good, few hundred cards that I can shuffle up and deal it out into teams like the whole league's there, which is just fun for me. It's something I like to do when I'm sitting watching TV or whatever. I get a lot of actual play enjoyment out of my cards that way. So this brings me to my discovery last night, which gave me another newfound appreciation for Pro Set, for this set in particular, but also just the year 91 and the expansion of hockey cards. I sat down with all my 1980s hockey cards and I thought I'll do the same with the 80s, and I'll sift through and start making my set of, I would mix the card. Basically what I'm saying is I would take some cards from 1987 and 88 and 89 and put them all together so that I got one of each player. Doesn't necessarily really matter which year, and then I can do that and play with them. Well, as I'm going through the sets, I started to notice a big omission, and that is the tough guys. There's a lot of guys like Jay Miller and Chris Nyland actually he's like the one tough guy who actually has a card in those mid 80s sets. Ken Baumgartner, just basically every tough guy was omitted. Every enforcer type was omitted from those sets. The top sets are small, at coming in at about 200 cards each, so I kind of knew they were not in Topps cards. But I always just assumed that the O-Pee-Chee card sets, which were larger sets, usually at least 1.5 to twice as big, I just kind of assumed they had the players who played regularly that season, and it covered everything. And it does not. Joe Coser is a great example. He played, 85, I think, was his rookie year. So he played pretty much full seasons, led the league in fights at least once, and was a beloved player. Like, everybody loved Joe Coser, super popular with the fans. He does not have a Topps or O-Pee-Chee card in the 80s. His rookie card is in 1990-91 Pro Set, and he's in basically every set. But here it is. One thing that I like about 90-91 Pro Set that I never realized before is it covers the full range of players. It's got basically anybody who played a handful of games in the NHL that year in 89-90. Shane Churla, rookie card. He's played several seasons in the league. Well, actually, that was his first full season, but he has two seasons before that. So that maybe should be his rookie. Lyndon Buyers. This is Lyndon Buyers' third full season, and he didn't have a card in Topps or O-Pee-Chee before this. McSorley's rookie, I think, was just the year before. He actually did have a Topps card. But I just found it kind of sad, and I was like, so what I need to do, Alan May. Alan May was a regular. Oh, wow, this was Alan May's rookie year. Huh, Alan May. So that's an Alan May rookie card. Great. But I thought he played a couple of years in the 80s. He really didn't. Started at the end of the 80s. Who else am I going to see here pretty quick? Series 2 especially had a lot of the tough guys, a lot of the fringy guys, like John Cordick. He's one of my favorites. John Cordick was in there. You know what's missing is Ty Domi. He was only in O-Pee-Chee Premier, which is kind of funky. Yeah, so what I have to do, I guess, is if I want to put together the 80s sets, I'm going to have to use Pro Set cards from this year that show, of the tough guys, that show their stats on the back, I guess. And then I'll just use the proper stat line. Uh-oh. McGillney. Oh, yeah, I did show McGillney. So that's pretty much it. I think what I'm going to do, I don't like this idea. I don't really want to put together a set because it's very, very time consuming. So even though I certainly have all the cards and could dig through and find everything. Oh, there's also tons of errors. There's Dave Manson. He's a tough guy, but that's Steve Conroy pictured. I don't remember if that one was corrected or not. There's another Ronick. Al Secord. Tough guy and talented, but I don't know that he had any. No, he was too good. He would have had cards in the 80s. He was a good player. Torrey Robertson might be his rookie, and he led the league in fights too, for sure. He had a couple. Well, he had one full season, but he played 3 seasons. This was actually his 4th season. So yeah, it's a really neat set, and I don't understand why they did that. I really wish that the Topps and O-Pee-Chee sets had fuller rosters. Who's that guy? I was going to just mention a guy who played for Glenn Cochran for the Canucks and Blackhawks, I think. Doesn't even have a card. He doesn't have a regular issue hockey card because he was one of those guys who never made the cut in the Topps and O-Pee-Chee sets in the 80s. Joe Coser, his rookie card is 1990. That's nuts. So I might have to try to buy the set and just have a set that I can play with. I don't think they were issued as a set. I think the only sets out there are hand collated, which is fine with me. So there we go. Boy, I thought I was going to have a 3-minute video. I love the set so much I ended up talking for 10 minutes. So I'm Bradu. Thanks for watching, you guys.